All right, there's my fancy growth rate graph from this. Now, this slide talks about population growth. Hi again. Talks about human population growth, and it's growing exponentially. Okay, so if something is growing linearly, it means it grows like this, linearly. Okay, if something is growing exponentially, it means it's growing a lot faster. Now, I don't know what the equation is for human population growth, but I know that it has to be this number here, this base number, has to be greater than 1. Greater than 1. Because if it's greater than 1, something grows. If it's between 0 and 1, something decays. Okay? But here's what I do want to talk about, is what is exponential growth? Okay? An exponential growth is something that you've seen before. Here we go. Let's say you started with 1 and then you double it. So let's say you had a penny on day 1. Let's say you had $1 actually on day 1 and you doubled it. Then on day 2 you'd have $2. And on day 3 you'd have $4. And on day 4 you'd have $8. And on day 5 you'd have $16. On day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On day 6 you'd have 32, and on day 7 you'd have $64. Okay? So think of it this way, this is if you double it every day. This is day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? So at the end of 1 week, you would have 64, 96. It looks like you'd have $127, okay? Because it keeps getting doubled. Well, let's say you did that for the next week, okay? So you did day, looks like day 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and day 14, right? So you started with your $64, right? And then you doubled it. And you got $128, and you doubled it, and you doubled it, and you doubled it, and doubled it, and doubled it, and doubled it. And I doubled those pretty quickly. But notice the growth. If you keep doubling something every day, that's called exponential growth, right? Notice, well, in the first 7 days, yeah, it got up to 127. Didn't grow that fast. You know, you had an average of about $9 a day, something like that, not very big. But then if you did this, and now after this next group of days, you're going to have 16,383, 283, 263. I think it's 16,256 from this week. So week 1, when you started with $1, wasn't so great. But week 2, if you started doubling 64, see how quickly it goes. And then imagine if we did it again, how quickly we'd go. And that's what doubling is. That's exponential growth, right? So think of bacteria building up in your body and it keeps growing quicker and quicker. That's exponential growth.